Strange Darling, 2023. This is a new film for me, and I saw it on streaming last night. I must say I was slightly confused, but the whole point of it, if you read the synopsis, is nothing is what it seems. So don't make assumptions. And well, it seems to start off like I didn't realize it was a serial killer film, and I'm not really that fond of those. But once I started watching it, I thought I'm going to carry on. And I felt really uncomfortable to start with when I saw this woman running down a hill, running for her life, really scared. Um, and it looks like she's been injured and she's on her way looking for help, right? Then you find out there's 6 chapters, and of course, they're all mixed up in a different order. That's part of the tease. So, it also said something about this actually happened 20, when was it? 7 years ago, 2018 to 2020, 5 years ago. I was thinking, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna look it up, not worth looking up." Shall I say that I looked it up afterwards? Well, I did. What I found out, mm, well, I looked it up afterwards, and I don't think it's worth spoiling any film by looking up information beforehand. So that's the main point. If you look up for information afterwards, you may find out whether it's true or not. And I think that is one of those things about films these days. They can make stuff seem like they're based on a true story. We've had The Salt Path. Uh, I take everything with a pinch of salt now, so it doesn't really matter whether it's based on a true story or not. Although, to some extent, a story like this, well, I can think of 1 or 2 examples where something like this did happen to some extent, and I won't explain it in this this review because it will spoil it. So, um, but the main example I'm thinking of is in in the UK, and it didn't involve as many people. And there have been films. There's a film I saw 20 years ago, which I think was based on real life events. So it's not like um, these things don't happen. So having said that, um, the film stars Willa Fitzgerald as the lady and Kyle Gallner as the demon, and there's a few other characters, Madison Beatty as Gail, Bianca Santos as Tanya. Well, the main characters, I mean, there are a few other characters up here, and it is kind of some people are caught up. How it goes. It's so confusing because these chapters are out of order. So I was trying to place it back in order in my head afterwards, a bit like Memento from the other day. Um, and there are clear signposts. I mean, like there's um, a woman hiding in a fridge freezer and a man going, "Here, kitty, kitty," as he's exploring this farmhouse, trying to find her, and um he's found um he's, he does find her in the end. Okay, fair enough. That's not exactly um a a spoiler because not saying much else. There are other there's at least one other dead person in this farmhouse. We get to see that, in one of the earlier clips, and I can't remember which order, so, um, I think it's quite early on, so it's not a spoiler to say there's other people killed, but the story's based on a serial killer, right? So there would be, possibly. I don't know. Um, and it's only about halfway through that you start to think, or at least I started to think, "Ah, this isn't quite how it appears." And a little bit later, more things clicked, and then I thought, "Oh, so what's gonna happen now?" And it became a bit annoying, and yet it became more thrilling. It's just like, "Okay, I accept what's happened now." It's, there's still possibilities for twists and turns. You think, "Oh, it's gonna finish now. Someone's gonna be, like, caged for life." But are they? I don't know. Um, so in a way, there's a lot I can't really talk about, mainly because there's such a jumble of, these 6 chapters. I'm worried about saying too much about them because I think if I reveal that, it's like towards the end. No, it's chapter. I can't remember which chapter it is. But the signposting of where it happened in the actual plot was very good, I thought. So I did manage to put it all together. I got enough of a gist of the film, f- of the continuity. So I thought it was well done in that sense. Um, there's scenes where, like, there's a couple of police officers having a disagreement about something, and that felt a right wind up. I mean, sure, um, there's protocols, and also I felt, I mean, as a juxtaposition to that, um, because there are some unfairnesses that develop because of this particular thing. Um, there's a scene right at the end where someone um, starts helping someone, but they're wary enough. And the thing is, with guns, I mean, that's the whole thing, the situation with guns. I mean, sure, knives are dangerous as well. And when um, no, can't reveal. There's so much I can't reveal about this film. Right, I'm just going to go and say, I think the acting is great. The script is quite clever. The way it's arranged, I think it's quite clever, and it's got really high tomatometer, something like 96. I think it's is it upper 70s or early 80s for the pop commenter um, score. So I think the popular score is also pretty good as well. So I think it is. I mean, I would agree. It's a fairly good film. There are confusions. It's very difficult to talk about. Um, but it was a thrill of a ride. It was one of those films that I thought, mm, I wasn't going to like at certain times. I was actually getting really annoyed early on. And the whole thing is, it's partly perhaps me because I'm ace. I'm not particularly interested in relationships and the people having relationships. And someone asks someone else, "Are you a serial killer?" And the other person says, "No." And the first person says, "Can you say that as a full sentence? I am not a serial killer." And look me in the eye. And I was thinking, well, a serial killer wouldn't would be quite adept. It's not exactly a foolproof thing. I mean, whether that's a non sequitur or not is beside the point. But I found that annoying when I came across it. Um, and of course, there's an alternative that it was a device to throw you off, maybe. That's why I I find that I'm coming up against dead ends when I'm trying to relay what I think about this film. If I do, I may do a second review on this one. I've said that about many reviews, but I'm going to have to make time to do these reviews on Kelly Seconds, just where I can talk about this film with the spoilers, because in a way it make it a lot easier. I can go through the chapters. I can actually say what's happened. But I thought it was a clever film. I thought it was worthwhile watch. I'm gonna score it. I mean, there's a few bloody details that I don't like. Um, I think I will mark it down for that, but for the script as a whole, I'm gonna give it 8.75. Won't give it a 9. Um, there aren't that many bloody scenes, so maybe I'm being unfair a bit there. No, I've given a lot of 9s out recently, so that's all I'm gonna give. So, um, that's it. I think, it's an interesting film. It's quite a good script. I'd love to know what you think. Just a different kind of film. I mean, I think modern films, they have to add more and more nuances and, uh, ways of twisting plots just to make them worthwhile watching. I I'd love to know what you think. If you like this review, please like. Thanks, for watching. Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.